going! Welcome back to my channel, welcome to the new setup. I have moved house recently, so all the things have been going on indoors, and now my focus has been changed outdoors. The focus is now this field, which is bolted onto the house. I've never owned my own piece of land. It's insanely exciting. I've always grown up close to Woburn Trails. I managed to get my own compound where I built jumps, airbags, slopestyle features, but it's always been a childhood dream of mine. Like, honestly, the one goal, the one dream was to have my own jumps in the garden, next to your house, whatever, something you can look at every day, maintain, progress, develop. And this is the blank canvas. Quite a lot of space to work with. Actually, an insane amount of space to work with. And it's a blank canvas, literally. We could do anything here. I mean, I want to build trails, obviously. That's like where I've come from, my passion. But then you could also have a water park or a series of bouncy castles. Or a pit bike track, which yesterday, Greg and Sam behind you, they came down and we put shovels in the ground for the first time. And the crazy fact is, when looking at this house, when kind of moving in, I'm very, very stoked with it, but I was always nervous and apprehensive about what dirt we're actually sat on. I've always dug sand. My compound's kind of this clayey mud, if you watch the Pump Track series, but it could be anything: chalk, mud, clay, sand, flint, rock. It's a gamble, and like just knowing what you're going to be working with to dig determines what you're going to end up with. So yesterday we put shovels in the ground. This is the product of yesterday's short session of labour with Sam and Greg. We've built maybe 10% of what's going to be the ultimate pit bike track. I own a pit bike, there's another pit bike on its way, there's going to be a lot of pit bike battles in this very field, but first we need a track to do it on, and here it's going to be. Yesterday we made this 180 berm by digging out kind of what's already here. The problem with pit bikes is the foot pegs are very, very low, which I'll show you later when I get it out. So you have to have space to actually lean over. So we've built a fast berm, and I think in the future I'm going to put an inside tight rut on the inside. So when you have battles, like one guy goes around the outside, one on the inside. We've built a roller, which is going to be good. We're going to have a straight of rollers up to where Greg is. It's very sticky, it's very muddy, it's literally topsoil. We haven't gone very deep yet, and I'm fairly certain Well, how would you describe the dirt, Ben?
Slippy, mate.
You slippy
bit,
dirt.
Yeah.
But it drains. There was so much rain last night, and there's not a puddle. So it obviously drains. It's not clay. It's just soily mud, and it's all on your hand now.
It is all on
mate.
my hand.
So we're gonna have a whole track of this stuff, and then I'm probably gonna get sand. I'm either gonna keep digging until I hit sand, or I'm gonna have to buy some in, because mud's gonna be the bane of our existence. But we're gonna build a pit bike track. It's early days. We've got a lot of space. At the moment, I want to build an L shape, so I'm going to ride it that way, anti-clockwise. Carry on up here through some rollers, into a right berm. I've started to kind of mark it out on the bike. Up that way, turn around, come back, left berm, and then you're into that straight. Very, very, very cool to have enough space to build literally a children's motocross track. And then add more things to it. I'm very lucky, and I'm also extremely excited to get this show on the road. So we're going to film time lapses today. We're going to do as much as possible. When we encounter some big problems or some interesting issues, I'll be sure to let you know. Let the time lapses commence. So we've just cut in a very, very ghetto left-hand berm, 90-degree one, which is sat quite nice in the corner, using my new favourite tool. I don't know what it's called. Silverline sent me a load of new tools for the build, and this one's like, oh, it's a lawn edging knife, it's got a label. You literally edge the whole turf. Well, I am edging lawn, I'm using the tool for what it's designed for. So we've got a left berm. I don't want it to be as big as the huge 180 one over there. That's like a high-speed rail around the outside berm. I think pit bike tracks are quite fun when they're tight and you've really got to like lean the bike over, take a leg off. So it introduces a challenge. If this berm's going to finish about here, we haven't got a great deal of space for stuff. I really, really, really wanted a triple, so you could do single, double, double, single. Realistically, there's room for 2.5 rollers. So I think what we're going to do is make a small double into a bigger roller. So you come out the berm, if you get it good, you can double the rollers. If you don't, you have to single, single, single. But then everyone has to roll the last one. For now, I think this is the exciting thing, how quickly we can change this. But I just want to get a layout that works so we can start riding it very soon. So we need more dirt to build 2 rollers here. And maybe I'll trim the 3rd one down because it's a bit massive going into a corner. So let's do that. We've got a bit of a pit bike track forming in my garden. Look how minging it is. Look at my shoes. They're so heavy. I'm going to have legs like a rugby player just from building a track. It's looking good. We've got this end of the field dealt with. A berm in each corner. A triple roller that we've run out of dirt for. It's a big challenge digging down for dirt. I'm going to have to build a big pit somewhere and just try and hit sand. But because that's a proper berm, these are like legit rollers. That's actually now quite a cool berm. Like the way pit bikes go, that's going to rut. But the rest of the track, which Moose is showing you here. Yeah, Moose. I'm just going to ride it now. I'm just going to make these corners ruts, because ruts are great. That, it's so hopeless finishing with a shovel. I'm optimistic that just rolling over it on the bike is going to pat it in and shape it better. So we're already at the riding stage, which is cool. I'm going to go and get the pit bike, Ben. Be back in a sec.
Get it.
So this is my pit bike, a KLX 110. It's a pretty small engine, pretty slow. It's basically a children's motocross bike. It's got no clutch, so it's semi-automatic, and I've upgraded the handlebars to bigger ones because I am an adult, believe it or not. So I've got the tools now, literally the tools to build a pit bike track in an afternoon and a morning, a pit bike to ride it, and I'm pretty damn excited. So let's do it.
Oh mate!
Oh, my nice edge!
Nightmare.
What an amazing first lap! Look at my trousers.
Wow.
Yeah, Moose. Moose beat me around the corner. But the front end washed out. It's so slippy. It's going to be sick when it gets hard pack in 6 months' time. I'm going to go again. I was like too wide for the rollers, and it just all went downhill from there. Let's try again. It feels quite mad riding something in your garden though that you've just built. Let's see if I can do a full lap. Same point. I literally did exactly 1 lap and no more. Look at the poor edge after we've used the edging tool that whole time. Does my front end wash out?
Yeah, I think so.
Either I need to see that rut, either I need to go around it slowly like 4 times and get a good rut the whole way, or I just need to man up and actually learn to ride a pit bike. More likely the latter. Let's try another full lap. Too hard of a dog.
That was sick.
That is the sickest thing. We can build stuff so fast and it's so fun. Yeah, mate, you liked it too, I know. It's pretty hardcore with the dog, but he just loves being outside too much. So, big challenges of this track are, that berm is so difficult. I think I either have to contort my leg to get it right up in front of you like motocross style, but my boots weigh 100 kilos a piece. So I might edge the grass back a bit further and open it up. This berm is sick, look, 5 runs and it's the coolest thing you've ever seen. The hardest bit of the whole track is this section of braking on wet slime, because it's downhill, slightly off camber. You grab like front brake, stamp the foot brake, and it's like, whoa, into that, because there's not a lot of support in that corner. That section's unreal, I just suck at it. I've always got a leg off. The cool thing about it is, because you've just come out of a berm, and these little pit bikes, it's very different to mountain bikes, you're always sat down. So you end up seat bouncing that. Did you see one of the runs I seat bounced it?
Yeah.
Feels amazing. Got about 25% of a pit bike track. Stuart's never ridden a pit bike. Go on, Stuart, second gear all the way. Back on track. That was cool. It's been a very successful day. We've got a circuit. It is a circuit because I did more than one lap of the same thing. The 180 berm is unreal, and just then we've chopped in the inside edge. So instead of it being sheer vertical, it's now got a chamfer on it, which is from the last time lapse. So there's more space now. I think next time I go around it, I'll be able to fly around it, which is why we've started building an exit jump or exit roller. I think it's important to mention pit bike tracks are so much more fun when everything's rollable, and then the jumps and the gaps and the triples and the doubles are there to be found but not compulsory. I think that's when it's cool, because then we can ride this track in both directions. Look at this rut. That's what dreams are made of. That is cool. The rest of the track I'm going to have natural with sick stuff on the straight. Because it's so soft, you can do that. Preserve it, wait for if this sun's around for a couple of days, it's going to dry it out, it's going to pack it in, and then, like I say, blank canvas. I didn't want to build trails straight away because of the weather. Like if we were trying to build lips out of this stuff,
Cool.
can you imagine? You try and pack it in with your foot and you just pick it all up. You actually make the jump smaller by packing it in. So it's not going to happen, but stuff is happening, and that's a pit bike track, and that's future plans, and that's you guys suggesting things in the comments. It's worked before, let's do it again. We've got a lot of space. Cheers guys, legends.